Hello and welcome back to a new session of the NEET class where we are going to discuss assignment 1 here, the first PUC part. Now in this part, as far as the assignment 1 is concerned, we are going to discuss few bits based on the following chapters. The first one is living world, second one biological classification, plant kingdom, animal kingdom, followed by morphology of the flowering plants. Okay, so let's have a brief idea over this. I'll just give you an outline, then based on that we'll go to the discussion part of the questions. Okay, now here as far as the living world is concerned, living world where we call it as the living organisms that are present in this nature, in this world, where you have studied regarding the total number of the species that are discovered throughout the globe. It is a 1.7 to 1.8 million species which are discovered according to the living world part. Then apart from this, we came across the taxonomy, classification of an organism, then binomial nomenclature, naming of an organism by two names, which has been given by Carolus Linnaeus. Okay, rules of the binomial nomenclature, then classification of the organisms starting from the base, where the base we call it as the species level. Then from that species level, from species, then we go across the genus part. Then apart from the genus part, we'll go across its various classifications like family, then order, class, then comes the division, then or phylum, then finally the kingdom. Okay, so there are majorly we discuss two kingdoms in the first topic, which is regarding the plant kingdom as well as the animal kingdom. But as far as the second chapter is concerned, in the biological classification, we know that we have classified all the organisms into 5 kingdoms according to R.H. Whitaker. Okay, then in the living world, we came across the basic fundamental units where we call it as a species also. Then it's a various concepts. Group of species forms a genus, group of genus forms a family, order, class, so on. Okay, then the final highest taxonomic category is the kingdom. Okay, then after that we have the taxonomical aids also, like botanical gardens, zoological parks, then museums are there, keys are there. Okay, so these are the rest part of the chapter. In the biological classification, as we know, classification system changes on from time to time, because when we discover a new organism, in during that time the classification system has to be changed and a new kingdom has to be introduced. Because of this, R.H. Whitaker, based on various characteristics, not only on the morphological character, not only on the anatomical characters, but based on the phylogenetic characteristics also, the organisms have been classified into 5 kingdoms. Out of those 5 kingdoms, the first kingdom is regarding the kingdom Monera. Monera is the only one single phylum that includes all the prokaryotic organisms. Okay, then rest of the 4 kingdoms, it includes what? Eukaryotic organisms, right? Where there is well differentiation between nucleus and cytoplasm, as you know it very well. Okay, then in the biological classification, what you have studied is first Monera. In the Monera, it includes all the bacteria, Archaebacteria as well as the Eubacteria. Archaebacteria, old bacteria, which includes thermoacidophiles present in hot springs, then methanogens present in marshy areas. Then apart from this, halophiles, which are present, organisms present in salty areas. Okay, then cyanobacteria, they come under Eubacteria, true bacteria, because this Archaebacteria as well as the Eubacteria, how can we classify? Based on what characteristics we have classified is Archaebacteria which are present in harsh environmental conditions, while if we look at the Eubacteria, they are present in normal conditions. Okay, so that is the basic difference here. And Eubacteria, it includes cyanobacteria, which includes blue-green algae, commonly called as nostoc, which consists of a specialized cells called as heterocyst. And we have the smallest bacteria also, which is called as a mycoplasma, where we also call it as a Wallace prokaryote also. Okay, so in the first part of it. Okay, so where we have kingdom Monera. Then comes Protista. Then comes fungi. Then comes plantae. And finally comes Animalia. Okay, as we know regarding all these things, Monera includes, it's a sole class of bacteria only, and we have divided bacteria based on their shapes: rod shape, comma shape, spring-like shape. Okay, so and spherical shaped bacteria. Protista, we call this kingdom Protista as a eukaryotic. Protista fungi. So first Monera is prokaryotic, rest all contains eukaryotic organisms. Then from this Protista, what does the Protista consist of? Protista, chrysophytes, diatoms will come under this, where the diatoms, they are called as a jewels of plant kingdom also. They are also called as the producers, chief producers of the oceans. They are used in filtration, economic importance, lot of economic importance is also there. And these diatoms, they form into, they almost from millions of years ago, they have been formed, they have been diversified, and they have settled at the bottom of the sea, forming diatomaceous earth. So diatoms forms diatomaceous earth in the part of the Protista only. So first part chrysophytes, second one dinoflagellates, animals having two flagella, we call it as dinoflagellates. Okay, then in the dinoflagellates we have a best example of Goniolax, where we call it as the red color organism, unicellular organism. So Monera includes unicellular organisms. Protista also includes all the unicellular organisms, but they are prokaryotes, these are eukaryotes. This is the basic difference here. Okay, the red tides is due to Goniolax. It is due to dinoflagellates. Then comes euglenoids, the third class in the Protista. Euglenoids, that includes Euglena. Euglena is commonly called as plant animal. Okay, then comes slime molds. Slime molds are commonly called as saprophytic protistans. Then comes the protozoans. Protozoans, there it includes amoeboid protozoans like Entamoeba histolytica. Then ciliated protozoans. This ciliated protozoan, it includes Paramecium. Then flagellated Trypanosoma, where it causes sleeping sickness also. And that sleeping sickness is mainly transmitted through a vector called as tsetse fly. Then after that comes sporozoans like the Plasmodium, right? Then fungi, there is diversification in the fungi also, and in the fungi, this fungi, they are cosmopolitan in distribution. Most of the organisms are present in the nature, where this fungi is classified into phycomycetes, ascomycetes, basidiomycetes, as well as deuteromycetes with their respective examples. Okay, then plantae, it includes all the plants. As you know, these plants, they are, one is algae. Algae is again classified into green algae, chlorophyceae, piophyceae, brown algae, rhodophyceae, red algae. Okay, and there are various pigments also. Almost chlorophyll A is common. AB is present in green algae, and AC is present in brown algae, and AD is present. Chlorophyll A and chlorophyll D is present in red algae. Okay, they have their own reserve food also, right? Cosmopolitan. And algae, from this algae we use them in from this algae, especially red algae, we take agar. Agar is obtained mainly from the red algae, Gracilaria as well as Gelidium, from which we are going to produce the agar. Agar is widely used in the biotechnology also, okay, in the tissue culture lab. That is regarding the part of the algae. Then comes bryophytes. Bryophytes, they are commonly called as amphibians of plant kingdom, which includes the Rixia, Markensia, as well as Funaria, and it is mainly classified into liverworts as well as mosses. Okay, and in the mosses, it is having a creeping stage called as a protonema, and an erect stage, which is also called as a leafy stage. Okay, then after this, pteridophytes, first land plants, first vascular plants having xylem as well as phloem. Okay, so that is the most important feature, and they are the first species of seed bearing plants. Okay, because before that all the plants will be bearing spores. This is an best example of a first land plant, first vascular plant, and it gives a main link for the non-seeded as well as seeded plants. Then comes gymnosperms. Gymnosperms, they are called as negate seeded plants also. And in the gymnosperms, we have the tallest plant, giant plant, where we call it as a red giant root, Sequoia semperovensis. Okay, then after that, its classification. Okay, then in the gymnosperms, we have best example of cycas also. Then apart from that, pinus plants. Then last one, angiosperms. And regarding the angiosperms, you have studied it a lot. Angiosperms, flowering plants. We have the tallest angiosperm, which is called as eucalyptus, and the smallest angiosperm, which is called as Wolffia. And in the angiosperms, it is classified into monocots, dicots, which already you have studied in the second chapter, sexual reproduction in the flowering plants of second PU. Animalia, it is the huge class where the animals, it includes vertebrates as well as invertebrates. Invertebrates, there are around 9 phylums, starting from Porifera, then Coelenterata, which is also called as Cnidaria. Then apart from this, it includes Ctenophora, Platyhelminthes, then Aschelminthes, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, Hemichordata, then Urochordata, Cephalochordata, and Vertebrata. And this vertebrata, it includes mainly Pisces, fishes, then apart from that amphibia, reptiles, aves, as well as mammals. Okay. So this is regarding the part of the Animalia, and where the detailed account is there in the animal kingdom also. So, and in the plant kingdom, remember one plant, there is a parasitic plant, its name is a Cuscuta. It is a parasitic plant, remember its name. Then morphology of the flowering plants, flower, we call it as a reproductive part of an angiosperm. In this part, it's a big topic where you are going to study regarding the part of, already you have studied regarding the part of the root, stem, leaf, their modification, flower, its modification, racemose inflorescence, cymose inflorescence, then its a symmetry, different types of symmetries are there. Then later on, regarding a flower, male part, androecium, female part, then the flower, it might be superior, inferior flower, or half superior. Then apart from this, you have already studied regarding the 3 families also, Fabaceae, Solanaceae, as well as Liliaceae. Okay, so with this introduction, so let me go to the part of the question discussion. So let's discuss the questions. Then I'll try to discuss few questions, and remaining questions you can solve by yourself. Okay, now one thing what I want to tell you is, now the motivation which you have, which you need, is more important for you in this time, because you are at the last step, you are at the edge of finishing of your second PU. Undoubtedly you will write the exams, either it is a theory or a CET, you are definitely going to write it. Only the thing is, be alert, be concentrated, be aware also. This is what I want to tell you. And don't lose your hope. When you have a lot of time in your hand, make the best use of it. Okay, so do not waste the time. This is not the time to waste also. So that's why I would like to wish you all the best. So do your work properly. Do the work for yourself, not for anyone. Okay, and it should keep you happy. Okay, so learn all the concepts, learn everything, continue with the reading. Okay, and just let's go to the part of the discussion of the questions now. Okay, our assignment part. Okay, now let us look at the assignment questions. Let's look at the first question. In 5 kingdom classification, the unicellular prokaryotic organisms were classified under kingdom. So here 4 kingdoms are given, and the question is very clear that it includes prokaryotic unicellular. It means it includes the only one kingdom, which is called as kingdom Monera. So let's go to the next question. Question 5, and these questions will be posted in the group also. Later on you can see, and these questions you can just write the question number, and you can just write the keys also in a notebook. Which one of the following taxonomic categories can categorize rest all others? In the taxonomic category, we know the basic unit of classification is species, above which genus will come, over the genus, family, after that order, class, phylum or division, kingdom. That means class includes all these. So the right option is option C, class. Next, question 8. Animal of the same phylum are grouped below. Choose the incorrect group from the given below option.
Okay, so that means you have to check it should belong to either same phylum or to the same group. First one is shark, snake, whale, reptile. Reptile is different. Shark belongs to fishes, so this is not included. Then insects, spider, shrimps. Insects, spider, shrimps, so all belong to arthropods. Then snail, squid, slug, arthromelipid, leech. So if you look at all these examples from your NCERT, so insects, spider, shrimp. Okay, so all these belongs to arthropods. Then see snail, squid, slug. All these belongs to snail belongs to molluscans, squid molluscus, slug is also molluscans. Then earthworm, millipede as well as a leech. Earthworm, it belongs to phylum Annelida. Millipede belongs to Arthropoda. So here it does not come. So if we look at these options, so B and C are right here. So such type of questions will not be asked in the exam. Such type of confusions will not be there. I just taken to show that if you get such type of questions, then out of which both the answers will be considered, hopefully this will not be there in the exams. Next one, 17, the plant cell have an eukaryotic structure with prominent dash, where it is given as A, and the cell wall is made up of a dash. Identify the correct options for A and B to complete the given statement. So we need to complete the statement here. Okay, so look at the first one, A here. The plant cell have an eukaryotic structure with a prominent dash. When it is a plant cell, it should have the chloroplast, and the cell wall is made up of a dash. Then the cell wall of the plant cell is made up of cellulose. Question 21. Which one of the following does not belong to kingdom Monera? So here it should not belong to kingdom Monera. Monera, it includes all the prokaryotic organisms. Mycoplasma is the smallest prokaryote. Archaebacter comes under kingdom Monera. Slime molds comes under kingdom Protista. Eubacteria comes under Monera. So option is C, slime molds. Next, there is a diagram. 3 diagrams are given and labeled as A, B and C of your NCERT. So A, it is called as a rolling ball. Rolling ball is nothing but it is a volvox, a green alga. B is a Chlamydomonas having 2 flagella. It is a green alga. Then C1 is a chara. Okay, again all these are the algae. Next one. So here correct answer is option B. Question 33. Photosynthetic pigments. So here photosynthetic pigments of class Rhodophyceae red algae are. So red algae, as we know, there are 3 different types of algae: green algae, brown algae as well as a red algae. Now green algae AB, brown algae AC, red algae AD. So option is C. Next, question 39. The animal's body belonging to phylum Mollusca is divided into. So it should belong to Mollusca. So molluscans, what do they have? Molluscans have a head, a muscular foot as well as a middle one, visceral hump. So the correct option should be D. Then question 42. Spermatheca in earthworms is for what purpose? So as we know, from 5th to 9th there are 4 pairs of spermatheca, and these spermatheca are used for storage of sperms that is obtained from the male partner, okay, during sexual reproduction, and that sexual reproduction takes place by juxtaposing, that means coming in opposite directions. Next, 43, find out the odd example. So here we have the sea lily, sea fan, sea cucumber, sea urchin. Out of this, 3 should belong to one phylum, and one is a odd one out. So that's why the odd example is a sea fan here, which belongs to Cnidaria or Coelenterata. Rest of the three will belong to Echinodermata. Next one, 45. The female genital pore of Ferritima postuma, that means it's a earthworm, and this female genital pore is present at the 14th segment. Next one, question 47. Which of the following have the highest number of species in the nature? Now, by looking at this example, we'll clearly come to know that highest number of the species in the world is insects, and kingdom, not kingdom, phylum Arthropoda is the biggest phylum in the world that consists of 70% of the insects. Then along with that, angiosperms, birds around 15 to 18% are there, angiosperms around 40%, fungi are also around 40%. So correct option is insects, which are highest. Next, question number 56. The endosperm is used by cotyledon. The cotyledon is, that means this endosperm is the nutritive tissue that is used by the plants, and this nutritive tissue, when it is used by the plants, then what it is called as? So here we call such type of seeds or cotyledon as non-endospermic, because if it consumes all the endosperm, then we call it as non-endospermic plant. Next one. So there is a diagram here. In this diagram, you need to identify A, B and C. What type of phyllotaxy? Phyllotaxy is nothing but arrangement of leaves on the stem. It is said to be phyllotaxy. So here what does it includes? A, you can clearly see, so there is a alternative, one after the other leaves are arranged on the stem. It's called as alternate. Second one, on the stem exactly they are arranged at opposite sides, so it is called as opposite phyllotaxy. Third one, it is arranged in a form of a whorl or a ring or a circle, which is also termed as whorled phyllotaxy. So correct one is option C. Next one, question number 60. Desert grasses often roll their leaves due to presence of. That means when we come across the grasses belongs to monocots, and these monocots, especially on their upper epidermis, they have a specialized type of cells called as bulliform cells. When the bulliform cells receives water, that means when more amount of water is present, it is turgid, that means the leaf is open. And during summer season or during a high heat condition, or when other weather condition is unfavorable, when there is a loss of water, the bulliform cells will shrink. As a result, there is a rolling up of the leaf. That means rolling inside, it's just like rolling of a paper. In that way it just rolls out, just to avoid the exposure of the surface of the leaf and to avoid the loss of water. So the correct answer is bulliform cells. Organisms living in salty areas are called as we know, these are nothing but the organisms which can sustain harsh environmental conditions. Methanogens, as we know, they are present in marshy areas. Halophiles are the organisms which are present in salty areas. Heliophytes, meaning the plants which can survive in a high sunlight or in bright sunlight, which can tolerate bright sunlight, they are called as heliophytes. Thermoacidophiles, the microorganisms or the bacteria which are present in hot springs or thermal vents. Okay, now here when we call it as salty area, so the correct answer is halophiles. Question 64. Specialized cells called heterocysts are present in? Okay, in the early class, as discussing, while I was discussing the concept of Monera, kingdom Monera, so there we have discussed heterocysts are the specialized cells which are present in nostoc, where we also call it as a blue-green algae. And that blue-green algae, it belongs to cyanobacteria. And that cyanobacteria comes under kingdom Monera. Dinoflagellates comes under Protista, where it has two flagella, where we have discussed an example of Goniolex also. Archaebacteria, it includes all the three categories: halophiles, methanogens, thermophilophiles. Then chrysophytes includes diatoms and desmids, where they are also called as golden algae. Next one, question 66. There is a match the type of question, so column 1 has to be matched with the column 2. So in the first column, examples of fungi are given, sorry, class of fungi. Then next, second category is examples. So first ascomycetes is there, so it has to be matched with the examples given in your NCERT. So ascomycetes, it includes Saccharomyces. You can correct the spelling there, Saccharomyces. That means this Saccharomyces cerevisiae is nothing but it is yeast. Then second one, Phycomycetes. Ascomycetes we commonly call it as sac fungi. Phycomycetes we commonly call it as algal fungi, as most of them are present in water. These Phycomycetes, the example for this is albugo. Then third one is Basidiomycetes. Basidiomycetes commonly called as a bracket fungi, puffballs, it includes Ustilago. Then fourth one, Deuteromycetes, where it is called as a imperfect fungi because the sexual reproduction is not known in case of this fungus. It includes an example like Trichoderma. Next one, botulism. Botulism is also called as a food poisoning. It is a lethal substance also that kills. And this botulism is mainly caused by a bacteria named as a Clostridium botulinum. And mainly botulism is caused in canned foods. So whenever we take the food from the can from the markets, if its expiry date is over, then this expired foods, if we are consuming, then there might be food poisoning, where we call it as botulism, and it's quite harmful to the humans. Next, fucoxanthin. Now this fucoxanthin, as we know, it is present in which algae? Either red algae, brown algae, diatoms, dinoflagellates. It's clear that fucoxanthin is present in brown algae. The next one, Protonema is the stage in the life cycle of, as we know, Protonema is the stage in the life cycle of Funaria cycas. So option B is a cycas. So you can change the spell there. Instead of G, it should be C. Third one is Selaginella. Fourth one is Mucor. Now here, Protonema is called as the creeping stage, the first stage in bryophytes. And bryophytes, here we have an example of Funaria. Funaria comes under bryophytes. And in the bryophyte part, you can just look at the last paragraph of your NCERT. There you will get the answer. Second, cycas, as you know, it is a gymnosperm. Selaginella, it is a pteridophyte. Mucor, it's a fungus. So correct option is A, Funaria. Next, question number 78. And in this question number 78, if the diploid number of a flowering plant is 36, so what has been given there? 2n number has been given. Diploid number 2n is equal to 36. What would be the chromosome number in its endosperm? Always remember, in the flowering plant, in the endosperm is formed by triple fusion, one male gamete with two polar nuclei. So it is called as a triple fusion. So 3 nuclei gets fused, n, n, n. So already 2n number is given, 2n number is equal to 36. Then what is the n number? 36 divided by 2. So it comes to be 18. So add them, 36 plus 18, it forms the 3n. So what is the correct answer? Yes, 54. Next one. Question 81. Which one of the following is a oviparous? Rest of them are viviparous. Platypus, bat, elephant, whale. Okay, now if we look at the examples here, which one of the following is oviparous, egg laying animal? Platypus, we know it is a egg laying mammal. Second one is a bat. Bat is a mammal, it's a flying mammal. We call it as viviparous. Elephant is viviparous. Whale, it's a mammal and it is also viviparous. So oviparous animal is platypus. Platypus and echidna. These are the only two mammals that lays the eggs. Next one, question number 82. Which one of the following is not a poisonous snake? As we know, snakes comes under reptiles, class Reptilia, crawling animals or creeping animals. Cobra is poisonous. Viper, it is poisonous. Python, non-poisonous. Crate, it is poisonous. So non-poisonous snake is python. Next, question 84. Water vascular system is found in, as we know, water vascular system is the unique system that is found in the last phylum of invertebrates, which is called as Echinodermata. So option D, it should be Echinodermata, EC. You can correct the spelling there. Next one, question 86. In this question, hippocampus, where we also call it as a seahorse, it belongs to the class. So to which class hippocampus belongs to? Agnatha. Agnatha means jawless animals, which it includes a single class, and that single class is nothing but it is a cyclostomata. So it includes cyclostomata. Then comes chondrichthyes. Chondrichthyes meaning cartilaginous fishes. Then comes osteichthyes. Osteichthyes meaning bony fish. Then mammalia. So the correct answer for this hippocampus seahorse, it belongs to the class Osteichthyes because it is a bony fish animal. Next one. Next is 87, question 87. Flame cells are excretory organs of. So flame cells, as the name says, they appear like the flame, and it is an exclusive characteristic present in phylum Platyhelminthes. And the example for the Platyhelminthes is planaria. Then Hydra is there. Hydra belongs to Coelenterata. Hydrilla, is a plant. And fourth one is cockroach. Cockroach, it is having Malpighian tubules as its excretory organs. So correct answer for this is planaria. 88. Whale is a member of class. As we know, whale is the largest animal in the world which is present in aquatic ecosystem in the oceans, and it belongs to mammal. 89. Placard scales occur in snakes, labio, ichthyofish, shark. Placard scales are nothing but they are the minute scales which are present in marine fishes, especially the cartilaginous fishes like sharks. And labio rohita, it is a freshwater fish where we find larger scales, and these larger scales we call them as a cycloid scales. So cycloid scales are the larger scales which are found in the fishes like labio rohita. Let's look at the last question now. Question 90. Chameleon is a or an arthropod, amphibian, reptile, bird. As you already know, you are well aware of the chameleon as it changes its color according to the background. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಊಸರವಳ್ಳಿ ಅಂತಲೂ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಅದರ ಬಣ್ಣ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತಾ ಇರ್ತದೆ. So this chameleon, it belongs to reptile. Okay. So this is regarding the part of your assignment part. Rest of the questions, go through all the questions, get the answers, and try to work the rest questions. Okay, so wishing you all the best. Thank you.